Hi guys, and welcome back to Stupid is the Norm, where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire on a minimum wage in 10 years. In this video I want to explain to you the 5 levels of wealth. Now the first level of wealth is relative poverty. It's where you're living largely off benefits, and according to the Office of National Statistics that represents about 33.8% of the population, but that does include a large part of the population who are now retired. If we look at the working people, that represents 9.5 million people who are still working but are living largely off benefits. And what's the causes of this relative poverty? Well, I guess it depends upon your perspective. If you're a left-winger, you'll probably say it's systemic and all part of government policies that keeps people down and in poverty. And if you're a right-winger, you'll probably say it's down to the individual and its personal responsibility. The reality is, as usual, somewhere between the two. But one thing is clear, I'm not going to explain it or solve it in these 4-minute videos. The second level of wealth is when you rise above poverty, and now you're no longer reliant upon the state contributing towards your bills and your lifestyle. So you're making enough money to pay your bills, but there's no luxuries, and a minor calamity here would cause hardship and distress. The third level of wealth, and sitting appropriately right in the middle of the 5, is where the average person probably exists. So they are not living off benefits, they are making money to cover all the bills and have a little room for some luxuries like going on holiday. They may be saving, but they're not saving for the future, unless it's a future purchase, and they definitely aren't investing. They may be involved in some workplace pension, but maybe they aren't. It's Mr. Average, after all. The fourth level of wealth is where you're making surplus money which you then invest. You're not wealthy because you still have to work. Now this is me if you wish. I take 60% of the money that I earn through cabbing and I save it until such time I have 20,000 or 22,000 because the price of houses are rising. And so now I have £22,000, and every time I reach that £22,000 I buy another property. I'm investing for my future. The fifth level of wealth is where your unearned income is greater than your earned income. Right now my unearned income from rental properties chiefly is equivalent to paying all my bills. I had hoped to have gotten to the situation where my unearned income was equivalent to my earned income later this year, had it not have been for a clusterfuck of a January, which I recorded in an earlier video, and I'll put that link below in case you missed it. So it looks like I'm going to get the situation where my unearned income is equivalent to my earned income probably at the beginning of next year. Now, 2 questions arise from those 5 levels. The first one is, where are you on those 5 levels? And the second one is, how do you move from one level to the other? Well, the first one I obviously can't answer because that's personal and down to you. But there are 3 things you have to do in order to raise from one level to the other. It doesn't matter where you are on the level scale, you have to do these 3 things. And these things will take time, sacrifice, and hard work. So why time, sacrifice, and hard work? Well, firstly, time, because it's not going to happen overnight. I'm demonstrating here how to become a millionaire in 10 years, and I think that's the minimum a working guy on minimum wage will take to do it. If you are making substantially more, it may take you less, but I think it's the minimum you're going to do it. So you have to be looking at a minimum 10 years. Why sacrifice? Because you're going to have to make some changes to your lifestyle. If what you're doing now isn't working, then you need to change it and do something that does work. And why hard work? Well, because it just ain't easy, and if anybody tells you it is, they're lying. Don't be stupid, don't be normal, guys.